Scrappy people, Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with another video in the sort of series that I'm doing that is showing you layouts that are like holding me up in my scrapbooking that just because they're not inspiring me, and how I fix that. So this is a layout from the summer. Obviously we went to the quarry. This is one of our favorite places to go. I actually really like all of these photos, but together they're just like a big green and teal blob, and they're not inspiring me. I feel like I don't have enough room to work here. But instead of doing my normal reprinting things smaller, I'm gonna find a different way to work around this with this layout. So one of the things that I did was I printed out this really cute photo strip, and I was like intending to, like, I'm not even sure, like incorporate it into a 9x12 on this side, but this doesn't work for me. So I think I'm gonna find a way to instead, I'm gonna cut it in half maybe. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut it more than half, but I'm gonna cut it up and I'm going to incorporate it on the pocket side instead and leave this as a standalone photo on a 9x12. So that's where I'm starting here, and we will see where we end up. All right. Okie dokie, so I'm starting with the pocket page side because I always find it easier to start with the pockets and build on the theme with the 9x12 after the pockets are settled. And I'm going to cut apart this photo strip, and I think I'm going to omit that photo that I just pulled out there. I thought about omitting the one of Karsten pouting, but oh man, it just tells such a story, and so I'm gonna omit the other one instead because it's not an especially amazing photo, and I can tell that story with other photos. I'm cutting apart these 3x4s, these double photo 3x4s, and I'm going to use them. I'm going to layer them. So what I thought I would do here is I thought that I would break out of the standard project life feel where everything is very linear and everything is very like straight edged by creating a whole lot of angles on this page, like a whole lot. So I'm starting with those layered photos over on that Summer is Here card, and then I'm going to layer the heck out of all of these photos. So I'm cutting apart these photos of Joe, and I don't want them on the green background because they are very green themselves, and it just made the whole thing look even more green. So I'm actually going to layer them on this Enjoy the Sunshine card, and I'm going to follow the angle of the banner for that top photo. And then this bottom photo, I initially had it a little bit farther to the right than I wanted, so I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to leave some space over there on that right hand side of the card. And I love how he's just sort of peeking around the photo there. That is so fun, and it came out really well. I'm going to put these down so that they don't get all mixed up, and then I'm going to repeat the process for the rest of these photos, just kind of setting everything at an angle. I decided that I'm going to do a flip up with this photo, or this card, and the one of Finn stepping into the water on the right hand side there. This set of photos and the ones of Joe are very repetitive, and when they were together and you could see them both on the page, it made me feel like it was a little too repetitive. So I covered up the ones of Finn with another photo of Finn, and I'm going to create a flip up for those photos. I got some new photo flips from Simple Stories, 3x4, 4x4, and 4x6 sizes, but this pocket page, these photos are on the front of the pocket page, so I don't actually have to use a photo flip. I'm just going to adhere them together with some Scotch tape at the end. So this photo, I felt like I needed some more orange, so I pulled in some orange from a different collection. I'm using a lot of the Cocoa Daisy collection from the summer that was had a lot of lemons in it for this side of the page because the colors matched really well. There had the blue, the green, yellow, and orange in it, but I did pull in that orange card from a different paper collection because I felt like that orange matched better than the orange that I had pulled out. So I've angled all of the photos now, and I'm going to actually keep the one of Karsten just like it is. It's the only one that's not going to be angled because I just think it's perfect as it is, and it's okay to have all of the crazy going on and then like one photo down there just kind of grounding the whole thing. And I need a background for this photo flip. I need something to go on the other side. So I'm going to like just make a little card. And then I actually end up changing my mind. So I'm kind of looking through. This is my little package of summer scraps, like just summer stuff that I have pulled aside. A lot of it is the same Cocoa Daisy collection. I have on the right-hand side there the left-hand side, some Echo Park stickers, and unfortunately I couldn't get most of them to work, so I don't end up using a lot of them. I found this chipboard piece that says one word, and I was just like, oh my god, that's perfect. I pull out these letter stickers from Citrus Twist Kits, and I put bored on the photo, and it's framing Karsten. Oh my god, it's just, I love it. It's so hilariously perfect. Karsten goes from having fun to I want to go home very quick, and Finn and Joe and I were floating out to the far side of the quarry, and he sat there on the deck and pouted. Although he insists that he wasn't pouting, he looks like he's pouting to me, so I just had to incorporate it into the spread, just that story. It didn't even need words, it was just perfect. So the back of this card, I decided to put this Sun and Fun glittery foam on there. I'm actually end up changing it because I did a DIY Your Scraps video with this collection, and I had a card that had that Sun and Fun on it in a wood veneer instead, and I liked it better. So I'm going to pull it in a minute and replace that card. So one thing I struggled with both this layout and the next layout is I just didn't have a lot of icons. I had a ton of words to pull from, but not a lot of icons because these icons that I pulled out don't really match. So I really had a hard time building these cards up with anything but words, and it kind of really bothered me. I'm going through my regular, just like I have a bowl of just randomness on my desk that are just like everyday themed. So I'm going through those to try and pull in some things that are not, ooh, nice voice crack. I guess I'm going through puberty. Some things that are not summer themed to kind of offset all of the summer I've got going on there. You can see I have, summer is here. Every summer tells a story. Summer vacation. I just have so much summer going on that I felt like I needed some stuff that did not say summer. So I have this Pink Fresh Studio little icon that says be willing to try. I really liked the Let Go too, but I ended up with the Pink Fresh Studio one instead. Finn is still a really hesitant swimmer. He wears a life vest. He's almost 9. Well, he was 8 here, 8.5. But he's almost 9, and he still wears a life vest and is a bit afraid of the water still. And so I really like that be willing to try as he's entering the water for the first time. And then on the inside I have, oh, what does that say? Oh, something like I love these little moments or something. It's not quite orange, but I thought that the peachiness of it matched the layout fine. So you can see I'm kind of going around and struggling here. I pull in these labels because I thought I wanted to add like a label to that photo of Finn to explain what I meant by be willing to try, but I couldn't get a label on there in a way that I liked for journaling. So I end up just adding the story to this Every Summer Has a Story. You can see that journaling card that I'm replacing the other one with. You can see it better in a second. And so I just pulled apart the other one and I repackaged that foam sticker so that it went back, on its packaging so I could use it later. And I'm just going to adhere this one to the back instead. I liked it better, and it was a little bit flatter and worked a little better. You guys, I'm pulling out stamps again. Can you believe it? I'm pulling out this Allie Edwards stamp, and it says, oh my gosh, chill out or something like that. I'm not sure. We'll see in a second. It's on the July Stories by the Month stamp set. I'm looking for a white label to put it on, but I end up just putting it on cardstock, and I'm going to use my circle punch to cut it out. I'm going to stamp it in both yellow and blue. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, if the yellow would be dark enough, but I end up using the yellow and not the blue. I stamped the yellow first so that I wouldn't get any blue impression in my yellow. Stamping it twice, the joy of this stamp platform. Oh, I love it. I'll probably say that every time I stamp now. So I'm going to use my 1-inch circle punch to cut this out, and it goes right to the edge of the outline. So I have to be really careful, make sure I don't cut it off. Do the same with the blue, but then I decide on using the yellow. Has a better contrast. Take it easy is what it says. I really struggled with this actual card here. I ended up not liking that big orange label I put at the top, but I could not get it off at that point, so I just left it, especially because it's covered up, it's like hidden, so whatever. Like, it can be a little bit annoying because I'm not going to see it unless I open it up. So I still want to add something at the top of this photo of Finn, and I just cannot decide what I want to do. So I wanted to add the sentiment, "You've got this," to this label. So I added a label in, and I was just going to write it, and then I pull in some of the Cocoa Daisy stickers that I had from this collection pulled aside for planner use, and one of the stickers on one of the planner sheets says, "You've got this," and I was like, oh, yay! The literal only icon I add is that cloud. But I think together, this page and the one next to it, there's enough icons on the other page that it works. It's fine. I would have liked more icons, and I really need to invest in buying more icons when I look to supplementing my stash that I get from like Cocoa Daisy and Simple Stories, but I didn't have what I wanted here. I'm going to add in some washi tape, and then I'm going to switch over to some live voiceovering as I put the rest of this together so that you can hear my final thoughts on it. And I'm kind of enjoying adding those at the end. Let me know if you enjoy my pre-thoughts and my afterthoughts as well. All right, here we go. We're going to switch over. Okay, so I've got this in the album. Just going to use my scotch tape like I normally do. So I don't want any washi here. This one is on the front of the pocket, so I can just flip it to the other one. Sorry about the dog jingling. Every time I turn on the camera and start talking, she's like trained to leave the room, and apparently she had an itch on the way out. So there's that. Line these up. Make sure you leave a space so it has enough room to fold without being too puffy. And of course this one will be a little puffy because of the wood veneer, and I put one on the inside too just to reinforce it. So that is this side of the layout done, and I'm really loving how setting things at an angle really changed up the boredom factor for me, but also cutting up these photos and being willing to break outside of the box, so to speak, for not only setting things on an angle, but all of the layering and the tilting and these were connected to each other and now they're not. So just because you print things to be a perfect 3x4 that is vertical to photos printed top and bottom, doesn't mean you can't play with it and change it up. I really love the way he's peeking around right here. And then this was, of course, the 8-inch photo strip, and I cut it up, and I omitted one of the photos. I couldn't fit them all on here effectively, so I cut it up and I layered it, and I never get to use these cards, like, ever. So I'm super excited that I got to use a card with a title on it. And then of course I had the one 4x6 that I did not cut up. It was perfect, and I just added the title to it, and it couldn't get any better than that. So that is it for this layout. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And Finn's giving me a thumbs up. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. All right, thank you.